I'm Natalie, and I'm here with my friend Anthony Jr., a talented media personality and the face behind Cognac Small Talk. Cognac Small Talk is a podcast series that infuses creative talks, advice, and real-life stories. So Anthony was kind enough to, provide some cognac. He's setting the vibes.
Yeah.
So let's start this interview. How did you come up with the concept of Cognac Small Talk?
I was on the flight leaving Atlanta, coming to Seattle, and I was thinking of a way to really just continue my portfolio of doing like the media personality, radio personality stuff. And I was just like, man, I'm always drinking cognac whenever I talk to people. I was like, it kind of goes smooth, sounds good, and I just came up with the name, and from there I just took off with it. After I got to Seattle, I was just coming up with ways to how I can actually like really show this portfolio of me being able to show off that I'm a radio personality, a media personality. Started working for Microsoft as a developer full-time. And from there, coming to Seattle and being in a place that entertainment industry is kind of lacking was like, okay, well, how am I going to be able to continuously sustain the podcast, continuously sustain entertainment, media, and all that type of stuff. I didn't want to be in a place that was like, it's kind of lacking. But at the same time, I looked at it like, if I start in a place that's like kind of lacking, I can build it up. And then people can know that I assisted with building that type of entertainment value to the city instead of starting in a place that has so much competition. I gave myself exactly a month to just come up with like how I'm gonna do the podcast and everything. The first episode, like I didn't even have all the equipment I needed that I have right now. So it was like I was recording through my phone, I was using my MacBook, and I didn't have a mic, I didn't use anything. And that was pretty much it, and it took me about 3 weeks to make that first episode go really well. So I'm gonna say that's pretty much how it went for that. The podcast is based off of millennials and as far as the creative industry, innovators, business entrepreneurs, people that are actually just doing something that they're really going hard for. I want every episode to be like, man, I learned something from this. I can take this and tell somebody about it. And from there, they can tell 3 other people, and it just keeps on growing and growing and growing. I feel like being in Seattle has helped me focus, has helped me develop an even stronger work ethic, and I'm forever grateful about that.
After experiencing what it was like to actually produce a podcast, how were you able to sustain it?
Being able to sustain a podcast comes really down to like how serious you take it. I try to take it like a job, so it's like giving myself 2 weeks to do it and releasing bi-weekly. Just knowing if you take it serious, you're gonna try to perfect your craft each and every episode. You want some more cognac? I'm over here like drinking everything.
Because you drink cognac like water. Not a skilled cognac drinker over here. I'm still a newbie.
Alright, so what I do to practice a podcast or in general is like I make sure I first of all have some. Make sure I have some Courvoisier cognac. This right here is the VS edition. I've been drinking it for a long period of time now, so it's like I gotta make sure the music is on point. I try to play some lounge music. I may play some jazz music. Just something that like has that vibe of like I'm really drinking cognac. I'm drinking Courvoisier specifically. I'm feeling good. Everything is really, really exquisite at the moment. And then I set up the podcast, make sure I have my MacBook, I have my audio mixer, have my headphones, have the mic, have everything connected. I just start practicing any topic that I have, maybe enunciation practices, and really just, try to perfect that personality sound. I try to practice that whenever I'm doing my podcast, and then whenever it's time to actually record the podcast, that's like when it's all seriousness goes down. And the way that I'm gonna go about branding myself is that I've always, for the longest, have been into I consider it the vintage luxury lifestyle. You see the guys wearing top hats. You would see them wearing nice little suits, smoking cigars. You would see the mobster lifestyle. I've always been into that type of stuff since day one. These people really, really are taking the time to just enjoy themselves. And so it's I've always just liked that, and I just wanted to capitalize on that, and that's what really brought Cognac Small Talk and then Laid Back Allure into one entity. Advice I would give to people that want to be in the creative industry is, first of all, know your target audience. When you want to go into entertainment, you have to know what type of people you want to be able to capitalize on. Be able to know which people are going to follow the stuff that you're doing. There's a difference between Ellen DeGeneres' audience and Wendy Williams. They have different audiences, but they both essentially do the same thing. So when you know your target audience, build your brand upon that, so that way they can really understand where you're coming from, and then you can solidify everything else that you have going on. After that, I would just say you just gotta be consistent and being smart, making smarter moves, not overworking yourself, focusing on things that are most important and beneficial towards your career, having that target audience, and solidifying your brand across that target audience.
Nice ass lips. This is the most interesting part of the song. So long as the cure, says Anthony.
She'll be there to the end. Why? Cause we're not having sex.
Oh my God.
Forever, she'll be my friend. Hey baby, don't you?